interacting with real musicians. So glad that they're here. One of our fourth grade girls plays violin beautifully, and she learned it from her mom, Benita Gamechu. Thank you so much for playing the violin. All by ear, all by ear. Not plugged in, making a big sound, whether it's plucked or with a bow. It's Steve Goranson on the bass. And the big smile at the piano is my wife, and I'm so glad that she's sharing this journey with me. It gives us great things to talk about over dinner. Glad she's here, Jody McCormick. So, 4 teachers who have made it a great effort. Mrs. Kordick, Mr. Byer, Mrs. Lewis, Mr. Kerner. Let's welcome these teachers and these students for our 4th grade program.
Welcome to our 4th grade program. Today we will share with you many songs and the work we've done on our recorder this year.
Each class will perform a special song on the recorder with other special instruments.
We focus on the national music standards, including improvisations and compositions, and how these and other skills we learn help us as we have balance in our learning.
Our 4th grade social studies standards include skills surrounding mapping. We will explore some of the sounds of music of Mexico and France.
We all know that music can help us with our feelings and give us the skills to be creative adults.
So we all say together, don't let the music stop.
This year we are learning to play the recorder. It is a great instrument to help us to learn to read music.
Did you know that the fingerings of the recorder are very similar to the oboe, saxophone, flute, and clarinet?
We are playing the soprano recorder. As you can see that there are many different size recorders from the soprano to the bass.
The recorder has been around for a very long time and became very popular during the Renaissance period or during the 1600s.
We have learned many symbols and terms that help us to understand reading music.
We learned a fingering system that shows us which holes to cover to play the notes of the treble clef.
We learned about the repeat sign. It looks like 2 lines with 2 dots and tells us to play a section again.
The time signature has 2 numbers when you see it in 4/4. The top number tells us how many beats per measure. The bottom number tells us what type of note gets the beat.
So in 4/4 time, there are 4 beats per measure and the quarter note gets the beat.
The breath mark in music looks like a comma. It tells us when to take a breath.
Our song was composed by Ludwig van Beethoven, a very famous composer who ended early in his composing career.
This is like trying to drive a car while blind. Can you imagine trying to compose music and not being able to hear it?
Our class feature song is called Ode to Joy.
It is written by Beethoven and comes from his last symphony, the 9th.
The melody was sung by a choir in this symphony, but the notes are on our recorder. We are learning is improvisation.
To improvise is to make up music as you go. When we talk, we are improvising what to say as we say it. When we improvise on the recorders, we are making up what to play as we play it.
Reading music is much like reading a book with printed music. We are playing what someone else has written.
With a book, we read the words that someone else has written.
Improvisation follows a certain form and guidelines. Listen now as some of us demonstrate our improvisation process and the notes that we have learned this year for record.
We will work on keeping a steady beat and creating a musical melody.
Jazz, rap, and Indian classical music all use improvisation as part of their form.
As we work on our singing voices, we can gain tonal independence by singing rounds.
This is one of our national standards.
In our next song, we'll be singing in a round. See if you can hear harmony.
The feature song that our class will perform on the recorder is Polly Wolly Doodle.
This song is from the Civil War era.
This piece incorporates eighth notes, which are played twice as fast as quarter notes.
And counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and.
As you can see on the smartboard, this piece also has a first and second ending.
We play the first ending the first time and the second ending the second time.
The song has a sharp before the note F.
This tells us to play the note up a half step.
We remember that sharps go up. Just like sitting on a sharp tack, we jump up.
You can see the F sharp in the key signature just before the time signature.
The key signature tells us what notes to play sharp or flat through the piece of music. Many famous musicians improvise as they play.
All of these musicians improvise regularly as they performed.
And they come from around the world. See if you can recognize where they are from on the map for each of these musicians.
German composer Johann Sebastian Bach composed regularly on the organ.
Austrian composer Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart often improvised in performance on the harpsichord.
German composer Ludwig van Beethoven improvised on the piano.
Hungarian pianist Franz Liszt has rocked on the eyes of his audience when he improvised.
Interesting how each of these last musicians come from the same part of Europe.
As we look at the map of the United States, there are many cities that can claim to be jazz towns.
Louis Armstrong was a famous jazz trumpeter from New Orleans. His friends called him Satchmo. You may have heard him sing What a Wonderful World.
Benny Goodman was born in Chicago. He was known as a king of swing. He improvised with his orchestra to help many people dance during World War II.
Shirley Parker was from Kansas City and was a bebop saxophone soloist.
His nickname was Yardbird, and he died at an early age of 34 because he did not take care of himself.
Duke Ellington was a great bandleader, composer, and pianist. He improvised simple but beautiful melodies.
His band was the house band at the Cotton Club in Harlem, New York for many years.
Count Basie was a great bandleader, composer, and pianist, helped to make Kansas City one of the great jazz cities in our country.
New Orleans, Kansas City, New York, and Chicago have all contributed to the development of this original American art form, jazz.
In social studies, we learn the states and capitals, and we work to find them on the map.
This next song was key to memorizing our states and capitals.
Elvis used to hang out there a lot, you know.
Minnesota's the best state of all.
Wonderful clam chowder there.
Our class feature song, When the Saints Go Marching In, is a jazz standard that includes many musical elements that we are working on.
This year we learned about the tot. The tot is a curved line that connects two notes together, so we play the length of the notes added together.
In this piece, we have 4 beats. Tied to a half note gets 2 beats, added all together gets 6 beats.
This piece is played at an allegro tempo. You can find the word allegro right above the time signature.
This means a faster marching tempo.
A dotted half note is a note that gets 3 beats. A half note is a note that has 2 beats, and a dot adds 1/2 of the note's value, making it 3 beats.
This piece is also played at a forte. Forte in Italian means loud.
You can see the symbol for forte as an F below the time signature.
If we want a song played softly, we mark it as piano, which means soft. The symbol is the letter P. Shh.
The song When the Saints Go Marching In can be heard as a funeral march in the streets of New Orleans.
Improvisation is a big part of the jazz music in New Orleans and a skill we'll continue to work on.
As we play our feature song, imagine a funeral procession in New Orleans moving to this song.
In social studies, we have worked on our map reading skills.
We are able to find countries, define hemispheres, longitude, and latitude.
Mexico's a country south of here. It's part of Central America.
They have many beautiful songs and interesting instruments.
Instruments in various cultures throughout the world are made from materials that are easily found.
The conch shell is found in shallow waters off the Gulf of Mexico.
We cut off the point of the shell, play like a brass instrument by buzzing the lip.
The conch shell is an example of a brass instrument that is not made out of brass.
The ocarinas are globe-shaped flutes or globular flutes.
They are made from clay and shaped like animals or spiritual figures.
Finger holes are put the ocarina to play different notes.
The marimba is heard throughout Central America.
Descends from the balafon of Ghana in Africa.
Notice how many people can play this instrument and that the resonators below each of the notes are made of wood.
The zamponia is a cane flute where each pipe plays a different note.
De Colores is a folk song from Mexico that tells of the beautiful colors that come out in the springtime.
With our long and cold winter, we have never been more ready to see these colors and welcome spring.
class will play for you on the recorder is Swing Low Sweet Chariot, which is an American spiritual.
At the beginning of the song, you see a sign that gets bigger.
This is called crescendo, and it means a gradual increase or to get louder.
After the crescendo in the music, you will see a sign that gets smaller. This is called a decrescendo, and it means gradual decrease or to get quieter.
If you look above the time signature, you will see the word andante. This is a tempo marking telling us to play the song at a walking tempo.
At the end of the song, you see a sign that looks like a bird's eye. It is called fermata. It means to hold longer notes than its value.
As we play our featured recorder song, see if you can recognize these musical concepts.
Improvisation is a great skill that helps us create a recorder compositions. Each of us has worked at writing a piece for the recorder.
This piece is 8 measures in length.
We learned to draw the treble clef sign, notes and rhythms on the staff.
Just as we learned to write sentences in literacy class that express our thoughts and feelings, we also learned in music class the beginning steps to write music that express our feelings.
Here are some examples of our work. Music is an influential part of our lives for so many of us.
We can use music to alter the way we feel. If we feel bad, we can play or listen to music that makes us feel better.
The skills we developed in the music classroom will help us through our lives.
Skills for reading music open doors for our music making and improve our skills for reading books.
Singing is fun and makes us feel good. It also helps our brain development and improves our reading skills.
The skills we learn in improvising great music will also help us as adults in the workforce. We are the future of research and development.
Music has been a very important part of the education of so many people.
Many CEOs and inventors took art and music lessons as kids.
Business owners and inventors were 8 times more likely to participate in arts and music events than children, reports a Michigan State researcher.
Albert Einstein, the physicist who won a Nobel Prize, got his creative start by playing the piano and violin.
Alexander Graham Bell, who invented the telephone, played the piano.
Thomas Edison, inventor of many things, including the light bulb and phonograph, got his creative start by playing the piano.
Neil Armstrong, the first man who walked on the moon, played the baritone horn.
The next song is Amazing Grace.
This was composed by John Newton following a close call at sea where he feared for his life.
The beauty of the song has stood the test of time.
Many of our leaders benefited from their creative education.
Thomas Jefferson was very musical. He was said to always be singing when riding or walking.
He was quoted as saying, "Music is the favorite passion of my soul."
President Nixon was an accomplished pianist.
President Clinton was first-year saxophone in the Arkansas All-State Band.
We all know how music and dance can bring us together and share as a community.
Our December dance unit included dances from many cultures and social settings.
Les Salus is a French-Canadian dance which makes a beautiful image when done correctly.
Purchase a DVD including all of this year's music highlights, including
the Dance Unit 4th and 5th grade choir, World Music Ensemble, student recital, concerts, and each of our grade level program.
In this program, we have shared information about our music standards. We have explained how recorders can help us with our music reading skills. How learning to improvise and compose gives us skills to express creativity. We have shared information on the instruments of Mexico. And we have talked about how music being a part of our life. Thank you for coming to this song says we will. Don't let the music stop.